Now, the ruling APC party remains on edge and on the cusp of very serious conflict as the issue of the apparent suspension of the party's chairman, Alhassan Gandu, continues to fester. Pressure is mounting on Alhassan Gandu to resign, with new twists emerging daily both against and for Mr. Gandu, but unquestionably leaving him politically wounded and his party, the APC, creaking under the weight of this new scandal, which has become a frustrating, damaging problem. And now a new revolt led by the APC chieftain and former aspirant for the national chairmanship of the party, Monidafe, insisting that Gandu has to go, seems certain to further undermine the embattled chairman and to sap what's left of his authority. But given the support he still enjoys among state chairmen of the APC, can he manage to escape the hostile forces and the chopping block? Or will this new tide of opposition sweep him away? Well, for more on this, I'm joined now in the studio by the APC chieftain and former aspirant of the national chairmanship of the party, Monidafe. Thank you very much indeed for coming in.
Thanks for having me. Good evening, Nigeria and Abuja.
So your position, which you have stated in no uncertain terms, is that Alhassan Gandu has been suspended and he's got to follow that directive and go. Tell us more.
Now, let me state categorically that I have nothing against Gandu as a person. I'm just against the way he came on board. Now, before 2022, I think, we had a convention. Before then, there were a lot of things that were going on. I had gone around the country for 21 months seeking to become the national chairman. Before the zoning, it was eventually zoned to North Central. I respected my party and went to Northeast and picked up my form. I paid 10 million naira for the form, 2022. Before that, after I paid for the forms, went for screening. We faced all of us, the committee headed by former speakers, the governor of Katsina State, Masari, and Dimeji Bankole. And they told us specifically, I was wondering what's happening. They said, after this, go and collect your receipts. I was wondering. After the screening, I went to a room where we all met, all the aspirants, and they said they had been told something similar. We had later that if there was a unity list that came out, if you agreed to step down for the unity list, they should refund your money. This is a statement by the former president of Nigeria, General Muhammadu Buhari. This is Punch newspaper, and then this is Vanguard. If you agree to step down, they give you back your money. Now, Abdullah Adamu was given this position. We know what happened. He was presidential, he was the Villas candidate. We were forced to, the 6 of them that paid for the forms were forced to step down for him. He became the national chairman. Now, when he left, we assumed that they would give that same position to North Central State. And if you remember, it was micro-zoned to Nasarawa State. Common sense, we expected that. Only to be told that there was a meeting and President Tinubu, I don't know what he was advised upon, because I know he's a very good man. I was chairman of ACN here in Abuja. He was our leader. We used to call him the last man standing, because Obasanjo deceived the AD governors then, and from 6 states, we only ended up with 1, Lagos State, Tinubu. So we call him last man standing. If he knows these facts, I think he will do a rethink. Now, we had an agreement and the zoning was done under convention that it should go to North Central. Common sense. Suddenly we heard that it's there. Now I think, no, I was on AIT. I said, if this is done, they are setting a dangerous precedent. Very dangerous. If you now change this thing in the middle of the game, something will happen. And in fact, I was called from Adamawa State that they will not allow the DNC, the chairman, to come from Maiduguri when the vice president is from there. And I said, okay, what do you want to do now? That they want to propose someone. I said, no way. I paid my 10 million naira, which has not been refunded to me. If it will happen, you either give it to me or to Senator Abubakar Gire, who also paid 10 million naira for this form.
So for you, to some extent, it's personal.
No, it's not personal. To some extent, yes, to some extent it's personal because, one, We have tried to see all the chairmen. I saw Abdullah twice myself. I have tried to see Gandu 11 times. No success. That's number one. Number two, let the party respect its own laws. You zone this thing to North Central. Leave it there. I want to quickly use an example of the young man who cried wolf. He was a herdsman. He was bored in the bush. He said, wolf. People came out. There was no wolf. The second time he did it, they warned him. The third time he cried wolf, there was actually a wolf. Nobody came out. Now, if we do these things as a party, if tomorrow we make a statement, who will believe us?
So how much of an upheaval is this for the APC party in general in the pecking order of challenges the party is facing? Is this one near the top of the crisis running order, if I can call it that?
If you want to rate it, you can rate it in your own way. I will say it's at the top. Somebody might say it's not.
Right.
But right now, we are in a fix. Look at Ondo State right now. They had their prime minister on Saturday. Now, who is going to be the chairman? The other parties are watching us with an eagle eye watching us. Who will sign the letter? For what? It's not right. Let us, please, I want to beg the president, please do the right things. Mr. President will never rig. I know him very well. If you won't rig, don't get Nigerians more upset. I came on the 29th of May. You remember? 29th of May. I told you Tinubu will surprise Nigerians pleasantly because he will do things that will shock us. You asked the question about subsidy. I even said, are you sure? Because I was busy on that day. He removed subsidy on that very day. Mistake. He meant well, but mistake. Now, suddenly we had dinner last 2 weeks with the break of fast. And before we went to the villa, we had this news all over the place that they had removed, they increased the price of electric, whatever. And people are really going through stuff. I'm from Jamaica, Adamawa State. For the past 4 days, no light in Gombe, Adamawa, and Taraba. And the towns are so hot. People are going through stuff. Mr. President, please, Gandu should be told to just take a part. Let him relax.
Right.
Let's respect
but beyond the issue that you raised, which clearly is a spanner in the works, about the fact that the national chairmanship of the APC was initially zoned to the North Central region.
Yeah.
Is that the premise on which you're asking him to go?
That is one.
Yeah. What is the other premise?
Number two is our own interests. Now, for Christ's sake, I was on AIT last week.
Because, I mean, he was suspended
on Monday
by his...
Exactly. Now, let me just go on this suspension.
Right.
If the constitution of the APC says the ward executive are your leaders, the ward chairman is your leader, the constitution said it. How do we have this issue of saying when the ward acts, we act against them? It is wrong. The ward is the leader of the people that, whoever you are. Now, I think what's happening is, because it's happening in Adamawa State, the Senator Shekabu was suspended. He did the right thing. He called the ward chairman and did a few things. Everything was resolved. Comrade Mustafa Saliu, National Vice Chairman Northeast, was suspended. He did the right thing and everything happened. Senator Aisha Binani was suspended. Same thing. And even the one that made the mistake was the last name that was suspended. They turned it into a religious affair. That who are the ward people? Now the ward are human beings. Reach out to them. Just don't underlook them.
But I mean, is that I'm wondering how unusual a concept that is. I mean, I know you mentioned some people, but I mean, Ganduje is a pretty big fish on the top of the pecking order.
Was a big fish.
Does that concept have legs going after a big fish in the party? Is that
Senator Adams Oshiomhole was the national chairman, elected. His ward chairman removed him. We are all here. We remember how he himself and his supporters just turned their nose again. Who are they? And eventually he went. Yoshayu of PDP was suspended by his ward chairman. It's in the constitution. Now I'm sad that we are allowing the PDP to take the front
resist, though.
They will resist because that's a sad thing.
Yeah, but
that is a sad thing.
Until they can't resist
that
anymore.
Is a sad thing. But right now, this man is resisting and the party is suffering. See on those states. Now, once it leaves the primaries of the party, it becomes a public affair. If elections hold tomorrow, any party can take us to court and they might win because there are some things that are happening.
Okay, let me ask you two things. First of all, what about the national leadership of the APC, including, of course, President Tinubu? Where does he stand on this? Because you would expect them to be the ones enforcing the rule of law.
And I cannot speak for them. I'm just saying that, look at me. Let my speaking now here make them decide that it has come to an end. I'm sorry. Governor Gandu, I have nothing against him. But he has done some things. His word has His word suspended him. We even have two factions. I don't have any facts about that one. But the fact that somebody came and said you're suspended, for Christ's sake, leave it and go.
And how much support does your unequivocal position have in the APC? Because, I mean, we've seen what appears to be unified support from him to remain from the state chairman of the APC.
That's because I believe that it can. You see, sadly, I was not in politics when Abacha came up with rent a crowd. With due respect, I'm sure some people are being rented to do this. And it's not fair. Nigerians are going through stuff. Let us start by showing Nigerians that we care. Let's not disturb.
Well, let's be clear that that's an allegation that you're making.
Which allegation?
Well, you're saying that that it is possible that he rented those states chairman. I mean, so I have to say, because we've got to remain balanced.
I am not
that those state chairmen, they can come and respond to this allegation.
Let them come. You see,
yeah.
I was a state chairman myself. I know what is being done, and I resisted many of them. That made me very unpopular.
Right.
Let me digress to the primaries that took place, the convention that took place, primaries, when the various presidential candidates came to see delegates. I was delegate from Adamawa State. We met somewhere after the elections. Somebody was saying, I collected money from ABCD. The various agents of the various people, including Akpabio, said, no way. Everybody, because they're scared of me. I will say the truth always. That's how I am. Now, if I tell you that the chairman that came, for one, they have no political weight. What part do they have to play in it to regard something? There's none. Just say, okay, the chairman supports him. By the way, all of them there? No, they're not all there. So let's just let Mr. President please quickly stop this from going further, because the party is bleeding right now. And other people are waiting for us with drawn swords, sharpened, waiting to just cut us to pieces. Mr. President, please act fast. I know I'm risking something by coming here, because so many phone calls, but I don't care.
But what about Governor Gandu himself? I mean, is he looking insecure? I mean, he looks very confident going around. Does the pressure seem to be getting to him?
I don't know, and I really don't care. All I'm saying, I'm stating my facts. If the former president would make pronouncements, now we wrote to different people, including President Buhari. We sent him a letter, or Shibanjo then. We sent his chief of staff, Gambari. So many people. Former Speaker, Bankole, we have copies. We wrote, look, come and intervene. We are going through stuff. And when I went around this country for 21 months, then I paid just talking about me, 10 million naira for the form. 10 million naira for the form. I paid it 2 years ago. Right now, that amount, that 10 million naira is about 100 million naira. I'm not even asking for the money I spent for my campaigns. The president said, refund our money, give it to us. Respect him. Respect the president.
But if that money were to be given back to you, I mean, would you sort of, be happy to sidle away and kind of let things muddle on?
We have to save Nigeria. I have resolved that I must save Nigeria. I told you before we came on oil, Nigerians have, I told Okutepa, that we love praying. Before every meeting, we will pray Christian prayers, Muslim prayers. When we finish praying, we'll tell God to stay aside, we want to help ourselves. What is wrong with us? How much can you eat? How many rooms can you sleep? How many beds can you sleep on? Nigerians must realize that just play your role and go away, but leave a good name. I don't know what's wrong with us, but I will not give up. As I speak to you now, I know that many people, including those that even proposed with me, they say, this man, but I don't care, because I'm saying it. If you doubt me, check my statements. Did Buhari say you should give us our money? Yes. Have they given us? No.
So what's your next move now, then?
I'll continue talking, because right now, I'm sorry, this way I want to blame Mr. President. My leader, President Tinubu, Bola Tinubu, GCFR. 11 months next week. No appointment, nothing. We are going through stuff.
When you say no appointment, what do you mean?
I expect to be appointed.
You mean that you haven't been appointed?
I have not been appointed, and many have not been appointed.
Right.
Many. I aspired, I sent out my CV to be made a minister from Adamawa State. You remember my story?
Yeah, but you can only make...
I didn't bother.
I mean,
it's my good friend.
It's a limited number
and
of people who can be made minister.
Isn't it a good job, Tahir? Good job. They gave them, oh, I moved on. But there are other places. There are other different parastels that require leadership. Let me just say this thing. Some people might want to get at me, but I'm saving Nigeria.
So
civil servants,
right?
I call them evil servants. We have left Nigeria in the hands of civil servants for 11 months. What are we talking about? 11 months with due respect. We have left Nigeria in the hands of these people.
But they're talking about rationalizing the service and reducing the number of agencies and so on. I mean, does that figure in your consideration? Or is it about whether you've got an appointment or not?
It's not even that. It's not even that. If they want to do that, what's his name? Orusanye report. It will require a lot of laws
You're
being
saying
passed.
if they've already started
they will not
the
because they cannot, because there are many laws that have to be passed and repassed in the National Assembly. There's no time for that. No time. Now the president made a comment that if he doesn't give us light, he doesn't want it to begin a second term. The country is, 1 year has gone by. 1 year has gone by. Right now, Adamawa, Taraba, and Gombe states, no light. When will they fix it? Other places, this banned something. I have to bring it up. I live in an estate. I live in a dual, detached, semi-detached apartment. My neighbor is band A and band B. How? My neighbor is band A, I am band B. Now in the whole estate, some are A, some are B. They should have done all this things, finish everything before increasing this tariff on electricity. They didn't do that. So the president needs help. And who better to help him than people who were APC members? Not to bring people from outside. I'm sorry. That I have to speak.
Well, I find the whole thing very interesting, but I also find the fact that you're very honest and very straightforward quite refreshing. I want to thank you very much indeed, and please come back and talk to us
Just
again.
Give me a call.
Sonny Monidafe is the APC chieftain and former aspirant for the national chairmanship of the APC party. Thank you very much indeed. Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
We mustn't forget that.
Please don't.
That's it for this edition of Arise Prime Time. Join us again tomorrow from me and the entire team here in Abuja. Bye-bye, and thank you for watching.